Yo, what's up, guys? GFit here. Just gonna do a little video on what I think is the fix for the gear woes we face and the said troubles that go along with it. Obviously, we've got a boatload of gear that we have access to. So let's start first by addressing what the actual issue is with gear, and as we like to call it, all the trash loot we're getting. This right here. World Tier 5. This is the major issue. All weapon damage, backpack, minimum roll 1%, max roll 14.5%. 1% all weapon damage does nothing for us in World Tier 5, guys. Let's face it. These low rolls aren't going to do anything for us. I do understand that there is a correlation between that and the armor base value right here on the gear as to dictate what's going to come out, but there's a lot of gear, lots and lots of gear. So this is going to be the first thing you have to address. We need to bump this minimum roll value up for World Tier 5. Make this 5%, or whatever it is. Let's average roll. This line right here. Bump the minimum rollout value up to these values here to start. That's going to increase the values that we're able to get out of our gear a little bit better. Okay, that's going to make things more usable. I do understand that, okay, this has a direct correlation as to what these are going to roll out at. The lower this is, the better all these numbers are going to be, the more recalibration we're going to be able to get out of it. That's why we're seeing all the 15% weapon damage chest pieces coming out in World Tier 5 or World Tier 2s and low-level clans and stuff like that, because their gear vendors aren't up to snuff. They're not up to that World Tier 5 level. I'm not saying penalize them for being in a lower-level clan, because this is how you have it set up. All I'm saying is the solution to this problem is to raise the average minimum rollout for World Tier 5. I'm not a coder. I don't know what that entails, but I have faith that you guys would be able to do something like that relatively easily. Okay? We absolutely, well, I won't say I do, and a lot of the guys I play with, we like the variety. We like the amount of gear that you guys have, but that in itself has created another problem for us. Okay? And that problem is that there is too much variety because of it. Too much in the way everything rolls out. There's several different ways that everything can come out with this, that, and the other thing. Okay? So without going in and deleting a whole pile of gear, which is not something I want to see, there's a lot of build diversity from all of the stuff that's available. How do we fix that issue? Okay? This is how we fix the issue. Your recalibration score is 100%. You have 100% recalibration value. Allow us to roll a talent at the cost of 10%. So I don't want efficient on this. Let's say I want skilled instead. Or destructive. Okay? Either or. I roll this here. That cost me 10% of my recalibration score. So 10% gone right there. Okay? As you can see, rolling 11% going from 4 to 11. Okay, that's a 7% increase, gave me that. So for the sake of argument, we'll say I'm rolling 7% on here. That's costing me another 40% of my recalibration score. Okay, so now I've used up 50% of my recalibration score. I have 50% left. Now I'm going to roll more health on here. For the sake of argument, let's say I'm rolling 25k health on here, and that's going to chew up the other 50% of my recalibration score. Okay? If you allowed us to roll a couple of these and one talent and have the talent cost 10%, that would change the way we can do things. That would change the volume of trash loot that we get. Even if you just started here, man, please start here. Raise these base values for World Tier 5, because that's something that we need to have more than the guys in the lower world tiers. We're fighting harder enemies. You know, we're fighting heroic missions. We're for the PvP stuff, PvE stuff. I know you can make different effects for PvP, but whatever. We're not talking about PvP right now. We need to change the base value rollouts to start, and then make it so that we can recalibrate several items. Okay, let us roll 2 talents and this. That would help things a lot, even if it was a talent and 1 item. But I really think you should go with the 2 items. Let us use this recalibration score however we see fit onto all these pieces of gear. Okay, leave it still so that it's yellow, blue, red. They roll against each other. Okay, offense, defense, utility. Not I'm gonna roll an offense over a utility. Don't let that happen. Just make them matched still for their color. All right, leave that like that. Let us roll this. That'll fix the problem. All right, and like I said, don't penalize the lower level clans or the lower world tier guys. I understand that this value has a direct correlation as to what these values are coming out as. Don't start deleting gear. That's not something I want to see. I don't think that anybody else wants to see that either. We do have some pretty great build variety courtesy of it. So leave those like that. And then that should solve the gear problem. Essentially, the one last thing you need to do, give us all the blueprints. Why is there only portions of stuff that I can roll in the vendor? When, where, how, why can't we have them all? It's nice to be able to use them for the stuff that we're doing. I would like that fix, but I'd like to see you add all of them. So if you guys could get this sorted out right here, that would solve a lot of the problems for gear. So those of you guys that tuned in to watch this video, appreciate you taking your time out. Hit that like and subscribe button if you want to see more. There's going to be lots more of this coming out in the future. Hopefully we can get enough devs to see this, get the ball rolling, that, I never know, we might get this fixed. So, cheers guys.